everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a video about how to start a YouTube channel because I did one just recently about my own YouTube journey, and I thought that maybe you guys would like something like this. And if it is something that you enjoy or that you want to know more about, let me know down in the comments below because I have a whole bunch of ideas to let you guys know all the advice and tips that I've learned along the way. So this video is how to start a YouTube channel of your own. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to tell you all of the tips that I have for you, and then the next part is I'm going to give you some extra advice that I think every new YouTuber should know before going into this. So you need to come up with a name for your channel. And I found the best place to start is just to use your own name. You might come up with something really cool and intricate, and that's okay too. I wouldn't spend hours browsing online looking for to make sure that your name is unique. If you use your own name, you know that it is unique. It's you, it's your own individual personality, and that is perfect. It's a great way to start. Number two is to sit down and practice filming yourself. And when I first started, I did this because I was very judgmental of myself on camera. I didn't like the way I sounded, and that's how it just is. We are so hard on ourselves, and I think we're our biggest critic. So sit down, get used to talking to your camera. It is a little weird at first because you're not talking to anybody, but you just have to kind of get used to the idea. So just practice makes perfect. Number three is just start. That is simply it. Just start, because if you don't, you'll never know what it's like to have a YouTube channel and you'll never get going. Number four is determine your schedule and stick to it. Consistency is key. Number one, for the YouTube algorithm, YouTube will pick you up quite a bit quicker if they know when you post. And number two, your viewers will appreciate it. They'll know when to expect your videos. And if you don't post consistently, people are going to unsubscribe. And it is a little annoying if you're expecting 3 videos a week or 1 video a week, and then your favorite YouTuber doesn't post a video unless there's something like that goes on and there's a reason for it. It's a little annoying, so just make sure that you're consistent because you will grow a lot faster. And number five is use all the free stuff that you can. So you guys, I'm going to talk about this in another tip, but number one, you don't need all the stuff right from the get-go. And if you can find free stuff, even better. Number one, depending what program you're using for editing, I personally use iMovie because I have a Mac. I have been using iMovie for 2.5 years. So at first, there is a little bit of a learning curve to it, but it is free, my friends. Go ahead and use it. Also, you don't need all the lighting tools. You don't need a ring light. You don't need the box lights. If you have a nice big window and you have natural light, that is the perfect place to start. Number six is watch your favorite YouTubers. Watch what they do. Don't copy them, but just watch the tips and tricks that they have. There are lots of other YouTubers out there who also post how to do things. So obviously you can search how to edit on iMovie. You can search how to start a YouTube channel. And in fact, this is kind of where I got the idea from, is watching some of my favorite YouTubers. And I wanted to put my own spin on it because I know that a lot of you guys won't necessarily watch the same people that I watch. So, and then saying that, I am posting a blog post on my website at www.sandradahl.ca. Next Monday, I'm going to leave it down below so you can go check it out. But I'm leaving a list on my blog post about all of my favorite YouTubers. So it would be really cool if you want to check that out because I watched some great personalities and there might be somebody that you guys like as well. Okay, tip number 7 is ask your family for support. And by this, I don't mean money to buy any of the things that you need, like the technological tools, but I mean to subscribe to your channel, to watch your channel, but at the same time, take that with a grain of salt because your family might not be into whatever the thing is that you're doing. So if they say no, don't be offended. And if they end up not watching your channel, also try not to be offended because yes, they're your family. Yes, they're there for your support and your, to lean on, but don't depend on them to give you the watch time or the view hours because most likely the biggest support group you will have will be your subscribers that you will get along the way. Number 8, stick with it. So this is a huge one because YouTube is an amazing platform, but you do not become an overnight success. It does not happen quickly. It can take 6 months, it can take a year, it can even take 3 or 4 years to get anywhere. So you just have to stick with it. And I guess my advice in this aspect is it might not even be something that you actually enjoy. So my advice to you would be to stick with it for at least 3 months. And if you hate it, if you can't stand doing it, and if it's not something that you love, then you can let it go. But I would give it at least 3 months to kind of find out whether it's something that you really love. So now I'm going to talk about a few of the advice tips that I have as well. Everyone is on their own journey. Your life will not be the same as anyone else's life because your experiences are different, your personality is different, you've been through different things, and you just won't have the same reality that anyone else does. And you can bring something new to the table, whatever that looks like for you. Start where you are. So, again, that kind of comes into the supplies, it kind of comes into how often you can post. You might have a full time job. So, if posting once a week is all you can do, start there. And that is a great place to start. Even if it's once every 2 weeks, just make sure that you are consistent with how often you post. For technology, you don't need the fancy equipment right from the start. I am still using my iPhone. I do have an iPhone 11 Pro, so it does take really great video and really great pictures, but you don't even need that. I started when I had my iPhone 7, and it lasted for about 1.5 years until the sound quality died. But you don't need a fancy camera. I'm actually appalled at the price of cameras. I think I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers and she said, "Oh, just a cheap camera is only $700." And my jaw dropped because for me, $700 is not cheap. So just keep that in mind. Everybody has a smartphone nowadays or access to a smartphone, and just use your phone. So the other thing is also natural lighting. You don't need the fancy lights, but if you do, they are relatively cheap. But I would just stick with natural lighting if you can. But if you have to film at nighttime or if you have a dark room, then get some cheap lighting. Again, you don't need the most expensive thing. Or for my bullet journal videos, I still use a desk lamp that I got when I think I was in grade 4. And I just use a really bright white blue light instead of a warm yellow light. And that will be the best lighting for your work. So another thing that I wanted to mention is niching down and what your content is going to be about. So if you don't know and you've wanted to make a channel for a long time, watch what your favorite YouTubers are doing. And whatever they're doing is probably something that you're already interested in. So sit down, write out some ideas. What I would do is stick with 3 main topics or 3 main ideas. So in the YouTube world, everyone is going to tell you to niche down as quickly as you can because that will be the best way for your channel to grow. So, in my experience, I started out doing makeup and then I went into planning and bullet journaling. I also do goal setting, I do what's in my bag videos, and I do a whole bunch of different things. And they say that that's kind of death for a channel. So, I would niche down, but not too much. So, pick 3 or 4 things and then see which videos get the most views and then go from there. And you can always change things. There's nothing written in stone saying that you can't change it later on. By all means, you can. Just try to keep consistent. So, also starting on YouTube is really about the mindset. It's not so much about the equipment. Obviously, you do need a camera or a phone to start on and the natural light, but it is all about mindset. It is what you put into it, how much work you put into it, and it's really about being positive that you can do it and that you are enough. And the other thing is that it can be really scary putting yourself out there. And the only way you're going to start is just by starting. Don't be worried about what everybody thinks of you because not everyone is going to like your content. Not everyone is going to like you, and you will get mean comments. It happens to every single one of us that is online. And all you can do is delete the comment. I would not get into it with the person because it'll just make you angrier. Delete it right away. Try to forget about it and just know that whatever you're doing, it is good enough and you don't need to worry about those negative people in the world. You might want to start small and not buy all the stuff at the beginning. Say, for instance, you want to make a channel about bullet journaling. Do not buy all of the washi tape or the pens or the books because if you start and you don't like filming yourself, and you buy all the things, what are you going to do with everything that you've bought? So just start small, start with what you have, and then slowly grow from there. The one thing I would do for sure is upgrade your equipment before anything. So start saving from the beginning, and eventually you can get that better camera, you can get the better lighting equipment, and the better computer, and just figure it out as you go. And another thing I would do is if you are stuck on something, so for instance, when I started, I struggled with iMovie. iMovie is one of the easier programs to use. I have tried other programs and iMovie is the easiest, but when I started, I struggled. I think I threw stuff on the floor. I got so angry and I had to walk away. But the best place to look is watching other YouTubers. There are lots of videos out there telling you how and showing you how to use it or how to use whatever program that you're using. So go and check that out. And if you get frustrated, just take a break, walk away, and come back to it when you're not so uptight. Okay, the last thing I want to say is that YouTube is a lot of work, and people who don't have a YouTube channel don't really realize how much work it actually is. And I would actually love to make a video for you guys on that and just kind of lay out all of the steps. Again, each of the things will take different people different time depending on what they're filming, what they're editing, their editing style. It just depends on a lot of things. But there are a lot of steps and different things that each person does that go into making a YouTube video and posting online. And it is a lot of work. And this is one of the reasons why I say stick with it or try to stick with it for at least 3 months, because you might get really frustrated. It is going to be a very big learning curve right from the beginning. And once you get past that hump, you will realize that it gets easier. Everything gets easier with time and growing your business, because YouTube is a business, it will get easier. Trust me. So that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a comment down below telling me what you liked most about this video. And if you did like it, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And also subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you. And last but not least, click on that bell button to be notified every time I upload a new video. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.